All right. As promised, we are joined right now by a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, class of 2018. He finished his career with 15,292 receiving yards, fourth most in league history, 156 touchdowns, second most in league history, six-time Pro Bowler, four-time All-Pro, also an analyst on ESPN's Sunday NFL Countdown. Today he joins us courtesy of PepsiCo's Frito-Lay and beverage brands, which we will get into. My guest is Randy Moss. Randy, what's cracking, dude? Great to have you on the show. How are you?
Appreciate you having me, Jim. What's going on? How you been?
Good, dude. How you been?
Oh man, just trying to stay young and just trying to stay healthy at the same time, Jim. That's about it.
Man, that's the most important thing. You look great, you sound great, so you're winning. Listen, Randy, let me ask you this. Obviously, the story of the week, and maybe one of the stories going forward for the season, the storylines, the entire country tunes in to watch Aaron Rodgers make his Jets debut, and then we see him last 4 snaps before he snaps his Achilles. I mean, as somebody who played the game at the highest level, I'm curious, what went through your mind when you saw Aaron go down?
I was bummed. I was bummed just like everybody else watching that game on the national stage. It was just so much hype. The anticipation up to that game, man. It was just so much excitement about it. And just seeing Aaron run out with the flag and hearing the Jets fans scream and the JETS. I mean, I was excited for the organization and even the National Football League, man. The recap of the week is the last game is Monday night. So, like I said, it was just bum. Unfortunate injuries do happen. And I think just listening to Coach Saleh, talking about, them moving forward and the belief that he has in a young Zach Wilson, all thing you could just do is just sit back and just wait and just see what type of what Zach learned in such a short period of time behind Aaron, what he learned in the OTAs and mini camp. So, you always hear the term, the next man up. So this is one of those ones where all odds is going to be on Zach Wilson. If he thought just being drafted first round pick to the Jets was pretty big, putting up with that New York media, how about now and being in the shadows of a guy like Aaron Rodgers, where everybody's expecting the Jets to host that Lombardi up? So I just think that Coach Saleh and that organization have their work cut out for him, Jim. But I'm anxious to see, how much growing and maturity has Zach Wilson picked up in such a short period of time.
Randy Moss joining us. I love that. I was going to ask you about next man up. I was going to say, Randy, that I understand it's a next man up league, but there are certain dudes that you simply cannot next man up. You don't next man up Randy Moss. You don't next man up Aaron Rodgers, but it is reality. You got to go to work. You got to go to business. So where do you come out? Are they still a legitimate Super Bowl contender without Aaron Rodgers, or are they a playoff contender without Aaron Rodgers?
That was a great question. Jim, I would have to just say, just with the uncertainty at the quarterback position, I think that their defense, the way they played, moving fast, and a lot of people had expectations for the Buffalo Bills too. So I think, Jim, just the way that fast-flowing defense that Coach Saleh has them flowing, I just think they're just a playoff team right now. I think that the defense can get them there, but I think that where they want to be at the end of the year hosting that Lombardi, Zach Wilson is going to really have to show some great strides and where he's at. All right, now he's going to have to show some great strides and where he's at and what he's learned from Aaron Rodgers. And like me sitting on ESPN Sunday NFL counting down with the crew, we're there for it every weekend. So we're going to be looking at it. We're going to be watching it, and hopefully, Zach Wilson can just, show us that why he was a first round quarterback for that organization. So. I'm a fan of the game, Jim. I wish him the best, and I just want to see him do good.
We're talking to Randy Moss. I want to, right in the middle of this conversation, Randy, I want to say only you could pull up in a golf cart and dominate the way you are. Randy Moss, man, I love that so much. You mentioned the Bills, and I love watching you on ESPN. Let me ask you about the Bills. That game, did that tell you more about the Jets, or did that tell you more about the Bills?
I think it told me more about the Jets. And the reason why I would say it, Jim, is because of you take a balloon and you take all the helium out that balloon, and then you go out there and expect that balloon to still float in the air. Well, with Aaron Rodgers' injury in the fourth game, man, I thought all the helium had left that balloon in that stadium. And I think when you look at the excitement and how they pulled it off at the end, man, that was incredible. That's a heck of a catch right there, by young wide receiver Wilson. So for is that old Trey White? I think people ask me, hey, Randy, was that a you got Moss? And I said, no, it wasn't clean enough. But I think for that moment in time, that was just great. So I just think for me that the New York Jets, the Buffalo Bills, had the New York Jets flat, and they couldn't capitalize. And I just think that, Zach came out there and made some plays, leading off with that punt return in overtime. So I just think that something like that could catapult that team and give them some energy. Yes, I know it's early in the season, Jim, but hopefully something like that can catapult this team. We'll see what the Jets is made of over these next 3 weeks because of the schedule they have. So I'm anxious to see it. I think Coach Saleh is the man for it, but I just want to see what Zach is going to do leading this team going forward.
Randy Moss, my guest. I'm laughing. That was so great what you just said because I was going to ask you about Garrett Wilson. I was going to ask you about that catch because, Randy, I'm just some old dude and some dope behind a mic, and you are you. I was going to say about Wilson, man, this dude is electric. I thought that was like the most amazing catch, and I like what you said that, yeah, it was great, but it wasn't quite clean enough to be Randy Moss. Let me ask you, you teamed up with PepsiCo's Frito-Lay and beverage brands. It appears you appear in the new unretirement commercial which debuted during Sunday Night Football as part of their 2023 NFL kickoff campaign. It's kind of a mouthful, but there's a lot. Who are your co-stars in that spot, and what was the production of that commercial like?
Hey, Jim Rome, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I got one of the NFL's all-time greats over my left shoulder. You see who this man is? You got two of the National Football League, the best to ever do it, right over my shoulder, Jim. You see that man? That's Megatron, Jim. We just sitting there just having
That's my
good
guy
time,
right
man.
there.
Hey, Jerome said you
Megatron. Dude, is that Megatron?
That's Megatron.
Megatron
Right
and Randy Moss.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Megatron.
Holy crap, dude.
Good.
A cameo by Megatron.
He just had to come and show you some love, Jim. That's all it was, man.
Oh, dude, man. Much respect. That was so great. That was such a great moment. I've done this 30 years, my brother. That was one of my favorite moments on this show ever. Big ups to you and the big fella. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And hit the bell to be the first to know when we do upload a new video.